So I'm here with Corey. Corey and I are doing our fourth session together. Corey's also coming to the NLP practitioner course in May. That's in Ottawa, May 13th to the 18th. You're in Chicago, right?
Yes, you got it.
Yeah. So the reason I wanted to do this little video, Corey, was because you just said something to me about how things have shifted for you a little bit since we've started doing this work. So would you mind just recapping that so I can post it and others can hear what you told me?
Yeah, absolutely. So I just got back from a retreat, a business retreat, over several days, and it's been really an amazing experience where I was able to open up and lead conversations and jump in and go first and be vulnerable with others. And a couple of things kind of allowed me to get into that space in retrospect, coming back from the retreat.
Before you go there, can you tell me
Yeah.
how would you have behaved at this retreat, in your opinion, if you think back to how you were before we started any of this work, how would you have behaved before?
Yeah, I would have remained silent. I probably would have lied in order to not share like what my actual truth was, in order to not be vulnerable with other people or expose myself as some sort of a fraud or something.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the way I used to think, that no matter what I did, how much education I had, how many certifications I had, how much, experience I had, that nothing would ever be good enough to make me good enough to have good conversations with other people.
Yeah. So would it be safe to say that there was a little bit of imposter syndrome
Oh,
living
yeah.
inside you and that you were seeking approval of other people? So you were
Yes.
kind of afraid that if you say something that would remove their approval, then that means that you're not worthy of even being in their presence, that type of thing.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Very, very common. Very
Yeah.
common. Okay, good. Thank you. So what do you point to from the sessions that we've done that have given you this shift?
One of the things that I immediately comes to mind is clearing out some of those old bags of fear in my filing cabinet. Because when I removed all that worry and fear and thoughts about the past and thoughts about how others have reacted to me in the past, and bullying from childhood and childhood trauma issues, um, clearing out those things, I no longer have that clutter in my mind that is kind of a tape that plays over what I'm actually actively doing and having conversations with other people,
Mhm.
worrying about like, what are they going to think? What are they going to think of me? Are they going to, am I going to be cast out of the village? If I say some quirky, weird thing, and I'm a whimsical, quirky, weird person. So, but instead of thinking that way, I'm just like, well, okay, I'll just show up, be curious about other people, lead, go first, share who I am as well in complete honesty, and take it or leave it.
Yeah, authenticity.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful feeling, isn't it?
Mhm.
So in your opinion, it's because we did that, not the last session was the deep hypnosis. Prior to that, we dealt with your unresolved negative emotion. And so,
Yes,
yeah, so
but they
you,
compounded. So the hypnosis session, during that hypnosis session, one of the things that I imagined as we went through it was that those bags of fear, those bags of unconscious, um, that we talk about in the filing cabinet, um, they illuminated and they began to shine from the inside out. They
mm,
began to change. They began to transmute into something that I can use instead of worrying about what may or may not be right about me or worrying about being worthy.
so that's so interesting. You know how we talk about when something happens in your life that many people would consider a failure, but if we just consider it feedback, it becomes a learning opportunity. When
Absolutely.
we go into your history and we resolve your unresolved negative emotions, you're doing the same thing. The only difference is you're doing it on past events that have already occurred rather than just doing it in real time. Same process.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. Thank you very much for that. I'm going to stop the recording now
Yep.
and we'll get on with today's session.
All
And
right.
all right. And I'll see you finally face to face in on May 13th.
Yes.
Flying in on the day before earlier.
Yeah. Flying in the day before, I think midday, around
Good.
midday.
Good.
Mhm.
Perfect. Okay. Signing off.
All right.